Hey, and welcome to Front Seat Gamer. This is episode 1. We say the name wrong a whole bunch of times in this episode because we didn't know there was already a podcast with the name we say.
We probably should have checked, but
we didn't. Our bad. But now you know this is Front Seat Gamer, not the other thing we say. Also, our Twitter account isn't the other thing we say at the end of the episode. What's our Twitter account?
The Twitter account is at Front Seat Cast.
Front Seat Cast. So just think of someone making a shape out of their front seat.
And the email address is also different, but we still have access to it, so don't even worry about
it. Email whatever. We'll find it.
We'll find it, yeah.
And now, on to the episode! Hey everyone, and welcome to Pre-Alpha. This is the first episode of a new podcast. I'm Nick Colin. I work at Grinding Gear Games as a game designer. With me is Severn.
Close. It's good.
I always mispronounce his name. You say it.
It's Severn.
How do you mispronounce Severn?
Whatever. It's my accent, probably.
It's such a common name.
What do you do?
I'm an artist. I guess a 3D artist at Grinding Gear Games.
Great. And Blake.
Hey.
Hey, what do you do?
I'm an environment artist at Grinding Gear Games.
Great. So we've got two artists and the more important game designer.
Whoa.
just ripping. We're gonna start things off by talking about what we've been doing this week. I've been moving house, so that's basically been it for me.
How's that going?
It's really slow. I miss video games. I miss the internet. I miss a world where you don't carry packages all the time.
How is life without internet?
It's not life anymore.
It's not worth living.
It's like some weird limbo state where you don't know what your friend just drank. You know, you can't check Twitter to find out.
I know. I was waiting for your I was waiting for your likes on my
on your hot sauce post.
Yeah, on my hot sauce
I've been
post.
using my phone, going, "Oh, what's the hot sauce news? I need to find out how hot it is."
You want a spoiler?
How? Yeah,
it wasn't that hot.
Oh man, how much did you pay for it?
It's like $17.
Got ripped off.
It's supposed to be like 2 million Scovilles. And
it's delicious.
It was delicious.
That's a really good taste.
Well, it says on the thing up to 2 million, so
that's
from 0 to 2 million.
that's quite a it's probably if you leave it in the sun all day and let it sort of evaporate down to an eighth of its size, then it'll be hot.
But it's fantastic. You should try some.
Okay. What about you?
I haven't really been doing too much this week. I kind of moved out a couple weeks ago, and we're sort of just figuring out the house. So it's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, we've got internet though.
I'm not even up to the point where things are looking up.
Okay, we've got everything unpacked and everything.
It's like a nightmare. It's just boxes.
It always takes longer than you think, right?
Ugh.
Like you look around your house and go, yeah, I don't have that much stuff. And then you start packing up and you're like, oh god.
I genuinely do not have that much stuff, but my girlfriend has all of the stuff in the world, I think. And she's just moved it all.
Just blame the girl, man.
Yeah. It's her fault. Love you, baby. What have you been up to, Blake?
I have not been up to a lot, really.
Got some hot sauce.
I got some hot sauce. Yeah, I got some hot sauce. I mean, it is hot.
Okay. Well, so you and Severn, whatever.
You've got it.
I'll keep messing it up. You both have the spiciest foods possible when available to you, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
We get curry every Friday,
mm-hmm.
and you both go for the hottest available. And then Blake, you in addition to that, ask for a side of chili.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And they give you a bowl, like a little bowl of chili, and the expectation is you put like a little tiny couple drops in there, and you're like, whole bowl, stir it through. Oh, I guess this will do.
Yeah, I say it exactly like that. It's like,
this is just
it's also cool because you get a little bit extra curry. I mean, it's free to ask for extra chili.
Sure.
So I'm
getting
so you
see it as a value thing.
Yeah, I'm getting extra. You guys are like sitting there with, just the standard
empty
amount.
stomachs.
Yeah, I'm
like,
I've got like this little, I don't know.
Thing. Yeah, there is more of it, but I mean, most of that at that point is just chili.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Sure, you could just buy chili though.
Or not.
Okay.
Well, ask for it for free.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, free chili. You're right. You win. You been playing anything interesting?
Oh, actually, yeah, I picked up The Order.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing reviews.
Yep.
Not good.
That's the thing. I
heard it was too long.
Nope. you are wrong. I actually wrote down a little list of things about that game, but yeah, the first thing is that game is the new benchmark for visuals in video games.
Wow.
It's probably the best video game visually I've seen.
Where does it stand against Grand Theft Auto?
Far superior.
Whoa.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 3, right?
2?
Oh man, that top-down view, dope.
But a couple of things I noted about The Order, they do a thing where, and you'll see this when you first actually get playing and you're introduced to the character in the city, they apply like a noise filter over the top of the entire screen.
When you say a noise filter, what do you mean?
It like almost looks like
static.
Yeah, actually, yeah, like static, like TV static, where, you know how you have untuned channels, that kind of black and white thing.
Is it like
if you were to multiply that over the top of a
Okay.
screen in Photoshop,
Yeah.
kind of looks like that, and it's always buzzing. So if I was to look out into the city, I'll just see this fuzz in the background. It gives it, I guess, a cinematic feel, but it's there, and I wonder why you'd even do that. Don't you want clean 3D? Don't you want?
I
that
know
kind of
some games. Is it like Mass Effect 2 had a film grain filter?
Yeah.
Option that you just click and it like makes it. It does that same thing. It's like a slight film grain over everything, and it just made everything feel more.
Really? It's cinematic.
Yeah, cinematic.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you can turn it off and just play it normally.
It's kind of funny that like making the image look crappy.
Yeah.
Makes
that's how
the effect stronger. Like it makes you feel more in tune with what's going on, and makes it feel a little more significant.
Yeah.
So the game is also letterbox, right?
Yeah.
Which must
it
add
is,
again to the
is.
cinematicness.
You know, I think that might be a way to optimize it, so you're not rendering 1920 by 1080.
Okay.
Instead, it's 1920 by I think 900.
Oh yeah.
So it does definitely feel cinematic.
But they can hide it behind a artistic choice.
It's just they're rendering less.
So besides the visuals, it's short.
I want to talk about visuals. I don't really want to talk about the game because
sure.
Because spoilers.
You already know that it didn't review well. I kind of want to talk about techie
Sure.
stuff.
Well, I mean, here's my question for you then. How important do you feel the visuals are to the game?
Oh, for a game like this?
Yeah.
Very important. You're showing off a next-gen game. You want to kind of say, hey, this is what we've got.
Sure.
I feel it's important. I think visuals are a way to gauge that generation of system, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's to say, we can pull this kind of stuff off.
It sounds a little bit more like you see this as a playable tech demo for the new consoles, more than like a must-own, like awesome sprawling adventure through the 1800s.
Well,
steampunk.
The gameplay isn't great.
Oh
Right.
no.
And I think it's gotten identity crisis kind of thing.
Okay.
When you play through, it kind of has that Gears of War feel. So you're ducking behind cover, you're popping out, you're killing people.
Is it chest high walls everywhere?
Yeah, you have barriers
Yeah.
everywhere. But you can't even cover behind everything. So there are pianos, and you can't actually cover behind pianos. But very early on, you meet this velvet rope, right? And it's hanging between these, on middle bars. It's velvet rope.
That sounds impassable.
Yeah, and you can't actually
Really?
step over. It hangs so low, and I guess it's trying to introduce you to a new.
Well, that's the
game
VIP
mechanic.
section.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, it's that velvet rope.
Yeah.
But you have to. So it directs you up to this cliff, and then you're into this weird Assassin's Creed type mode where you're climbing up. You're shimmying on a railing
instead of climbing over the rope.
Yeah, and
Oh man.
and then it has sort of tropes that The Last of Us had, where you're kind of doing things there where you're having to push things against other things in order to climb up against
Sure, like
buildings
like a push block puzzle sort of thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
So you think it's just a case of like too many cooks kind of thing. Like all these great games came out,
Yeah.
and they were like, we got to beat it, but like, let's take a bit of that, take a bit of that.
Yeah, I do think that's happening.
Was the velvet rope at least really spectacularly rendered?
Everything in that game was really well rendered.
There was no physics on it, I bet.
Actually,
it was just a static rope.
one amazing visual that is in the game is when you walk out of this mine, and I won't spoil anything, but you walk out of this, I guess, sort of rail line that goes underground, come out of it, and then you kind of see the docks, and it's kind of breathtaking.
Oh, nice.
It looks amazing. Seagulls in the distance.
It's good when
that
games
haze.
do that.
Yeah, and that contrast that you get where
Yeah.
highlight and a lot of dark.
So, I mean, at least it had a memorable or at least a few memorable moments visually, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, for someone like you where like the technology behind these games and the visual medium of games is really important, and not. I mean, obviously, you enjoy good gameplay and story and sound, and whatnot,
Sure, yeah.
but you really know the ins and outs and appreciate the visual style. It sounds like this probably hit a spot that you've been craving for a while.
What do you think of visuals? Are they important to you?
Not really. I mean, if I'm totally honest, I mean, if we look at like some of the most engrossing and popular games of the last 5 years, a lot of them are very lo-fi.
But
Minecraft,
I think,
for example,
I
is
think
not.
our list would be very different if you were to list off the games that you liked and the games I liked.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
We'd
Yeah,
have a very broad list.
I suspect you're probably right. That said, I do love a really beautiful game. I played Crisis 3, and that was a really spectacular looking game. Kind of dull in parts.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're walking through a ruined New York City, and you see light reflecting on the ripples onto the buildings around you. It's just it's
immersive, right?
Oh, it really is.
And
I would call in like my family members who didn't care about games, and I would say, "Look at this water! Look at how if I shoot it, the water ripples, and you can see the light on the building." I'm like, "Yes."
And they just like, "This is what you're doing with your life."
Yeah. So I totally, but to me, it's more of like this is impressive that we're up to this stage, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But this isn't enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I would say about The Order is that I don't think those developers put much thought into it. If they wanted to make a Last of Us type game, they should have made a survival horror type game. Especially when you have production values that high. And I think it works for The Last of Us because you have these amazing assets, but you're always foraging, right? So you're always running to the corners of the rooms. You're having a look at everything. So it's like those assets get appreciated because that's also part of the gameplay, right?
That's a very fair point.
And with The Order, you are running through these hallways, which probably took years for some of these developers to make. And, no one would ever pick up on that.
That sucks.
You could stop and have a look at those assets, and I did.
Yeah, but then you're taking yourself out of the immersive experience to be like, I want to look at these like sweet.
But that's what I do, right?
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of what I do as well a lot. But it does break your immersion doing that.
Yeah, and so I guess it was kind of research as well as playing I would say, a pretty good game.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, I would say it was pretty good.
How many stars do you give it?
How many thumbs out of 10?
I'm not gonna. I won't rate it, but I'm gonna say it's really good.
Okay.
Cool. What have you been playing, Blake?
I'm playing a little bit of Heroes of the Storm.
Ooh, Blizzard's casualized MOBA.
Yep. So yeah, I really like that game.
Cool.
And I think the reason I like it is for some of the reasons why people how people criticize it. People say it's like too short, it's not as complicated, it's casual, it's kind of casual. But I like that. I like having these rounds that are like 20 minutes instead of Dota that's like 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can tell in Dota usually, well, at least when I play, I can tell that I'm going to lose 20 minutes into it, but I still have to sit there for another like 20 minutes, half an hour or something, waiting to lose. In that, 20 minutes in, your game is over.
Right.
You've won or lost, and you're on to the next game. You don't have to worry about items. There's no items in that game, which is cool. and I could see like some people definitely like the added complexity of the items, in Dota. But
it's not just complexity though; it's variety.
Yeah, and there have been times with Heroes of the Storm that I've been sitting there and I thought, like, what if they had items in this game? That would be kind of cool. But I think adding them with an extra layer of complexity that I think might be too much.
Okay.
You know.
So I've played a lot of MOBAs.
Mm-hmm.
And I played League of Legends quite a lot, especially. But I've played a wide variety of them. Do you feel like Heroes of the Storm can hold your attention for a long time? Because, for example, League of Legends continues to hold my attention.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of complexity. And they also have a lot of variety, and they also add a lot of new stuff quite regularly. Like every season, they'll switch up some items, they'll rebalance some stuff, they'll do new skill trees.
Yeah.
But in a game like Heroes of the Storm, without the ability to like greatly change the way I play a character in certain matchups or in certain like situations, I don't know that I'd be able to continue to play that and find that appealing for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to stick with it, because I've only been playing it for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So far, and it's not technically even out yet. Like I had to buy into the beta thing, and the rate they're adding heroes. I mean, Dota has like way more heroes to pick from, so just having that variety, is kind of better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been playing Hearthstone a lot lately for some similar reasons to you. I play a lot of Magic, and Hearthstone is in a lot of ways a very simplified counterpart to Magic the Gathering. But what I find appealing about Hearthstone is that they are really using the fact that it's a digital card game in interesting ways. Like Magic doesn't do randomness very well. If a card says deals 3 damage to or deals 1 damage to 3 random enemies. In Magic, it's really tricky to do.
You'd have to like roll a dice or something,
or you'd have to turn all of the enemies over and then shuffle them into a pile, and then the opponent would choose 3, and that's how you'd probably do it. It would just be like slow and clumsy and require like several steps to make sure no one's doing anything that could be tipping the balance either way. Hearthstone is, because it's all digital, so it's like, these 3 guys, done. Or like pull a random specific type of card out of your deck, like a random pirate card just does it. You can't really do that in Magic. And so I really love that, although it is like a very simplified collectible card game in a lot of ways, it's doing stuff that other collectible card games, because they are typically cardboard and tabletop, can't do. So that's really, I've been really enjoying that.
But you also get a lot playing Magic, right? That you don't get in Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Magic is
reading the opponent, that kind of thing.
Yes, you do a lot of that, and I mean, we play quite a lot of Magic around the office. We play a lot of Time Leaders at the moment, which is a variant of Commander. It's just like with lower cost cards and fewer cards, and it's more restrictions. And a lot of the time, my opponent will have 2 untapped mana, 4 cards in their hand, and I'll just be like, now I really want to play this creature in my hand. There's like I know they have counterspells in their deck. Do I risk getting my creature counterspelled? And like I'm looking at them and trying to figure out, are they looking at a specific card in their hand, like looking at me? You can't do that in Hearthstone, obviously. It's a lot of that just becomes like, what are they mousing over?
Yeah, you can, because you can see when they mouse over their own cards, and you're like, but almost never you look at that. Like I don't. Maybe on a pro level, people actually look at that. But I don't. I certainly don't notice. I'm too busy clicking on the stuff in the environment.
I mean, Magic also has like, because there's a bunch of different phases in every turn, there's more opportunities to do sorts of crazy things.
Yeah.
Hearthstone is literally, it's your turn. You can play cards and attack and do whatever in any order you want.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think that this is like a theme with Blizzard games lately, of taking something popular and simplifying it down? Because they've basically done that with Dota. They've taken Dota and simplified it down to...
they've basically been doing that since World of Warcraft first came out. World of Warcraft was like EverQuest simplified, polished. It's the best parts of a lot of different MMOs compiled and really polished and tested thoroughly and stylized and then released onto the public. I mean, StarCraft is the same. StarCraft 2 anyway. There weren't a lot of innovations there, but they did everything that they did really crazy well. Blizzard is awesome at taking existing ideas and perfecting them, and they don't so often come up with new ideas. Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah, and I like that they're not afraid to just trash stuff that they've been working on for years.
Yeah, well, Ghost. I don't know. Did they ever actually cancel StarCraft Ghost? I know.
I'm pretty sure they totally canceled it, and they canceled what was it, Titan, right?
Yes, they canceled Titan, and they turned it into what's it called?
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they took parts of it and turned it into Overwatch. Yeah.
Which looks to me like a polished version of TF2. You know, it's just following the same sort of trend.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, so is there anything in the news lately we wanted to discuss?
I did write down some stuff.
Let me have a quick look here.
Oh, damn it. I did, seeing as this was the first episode, I wanted to talk about a few things that happened recently. Microsoft's HoloLens, did you happen to catch that?
Yeah. That looks cool.
Yeah, I really love the idea.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? I really like the idea.
Yeah.
Well, who knows if it's going to actually be practical.
It's augmented reality done right.
Sure. Well, I mean, has anybody used it yet? I know they released...
They had a... Did you check out that demo that they had?
Well, I only saw the video. I mean, I saw screenshots of people on a stage with it, and...
That was probably from the demo that they
ridiculous. Had? Yeah.
It looks pretty good. They actually... on that presentation, the guy said they actually put together another processor handling sort of positions.
Okay.
They called it like a holo processor or some garbage like that. But that processor is dedicated to remembering positions of objects and where you are. So it'll just solely handle that, making AR better.
Interesting.
Yeah, the applications there.
How okay, if you had one now, how would you envision using it in your day-to-day life?
Reminders.
No, because it wasn't small.
Ahead.
It wasn't small, right? What I saw, it was like this huge visor.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the Google Glass thing.
No.
It was like a proper visor thing.
I guess I haven't thought really much about it, but you can see the application, medical, right?
Yeah.
Automotive. Just all
visualizing complex things that are usually hidden, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I would like to, similarly to how you were describing Hearthstone, that stuff just happens. That would be really cool for board games, right? Yeah, HoloLens, because everyone can see stuff.
Sure. And
the computer or whatever can just take care of all the crazy calculations.
Hate to break it to you, they already have digital board games.
Mario Party. Not like Mario Party. I mean, ones that you can put this lens on and they're there.
Board games with your friends.
Yes.
I like that idea a lot.
You could do anything with them.
Yeah, I know, and that's what
But think of the board games. They're so cool.
I wanna play Risk and see the dudes like actually attack.
One interesting thing.
You want to see the gore.
Yeah. Turn up the gore level on my HoloLens.
One cool thing with that HoloLens is, with that trailer anyway, that preview of it, was how they use Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And it kind of shows you how Microsoft explained why they spent so much acquiring that IP to then smash down walls and actually play it.
That is cool.
It's almost virtual. It is
virtual Lego. It's virtual Lego at that point.
Thank God, by the way, because
we've just come full. Isn't that weird? You totally just come full circle from playing Lego to playing Lego on your computer to now playing Lego that isn't a physical thing at all.
I think until Microsoft releases a special virtual shoe that when you step on a virtual Lego hurts your foot, it's not going to be the perfect experience. Yeah. But I know
tidying up will be so much easier.
That's half the fun is this, shoveling handfuls of Lego out of the box. There's a new ZBrush or something.
Oh yeah, have you been playing around with ZBrush?
I haven't. I sadly haven't played around with ZBrush.
I won't talk on this too long, but 4R7 came out, which is a pretty big deal for I think every modeler on the planet.
Oh wow.
They introduced sort of poly modeling in ZBrush, which is massive.
When you say poly modeling, describe what you mean. Tell me what you mean.
Individual polygons, extruding, bevels, that kind of stuff.
Really?
Right in ZBrush. Yeah, it's really intuitive too.
Wow.
They also have a bridge with they actually partnered up with Keyshot, the rendering guys.
Okay.
That's a huge deal.
What are they known for? Keyshot
is all about photorealistic renders.
Okay.
So imagine sculpting something in ZBrush and automatically sending it to Keyshot. These two programs now work seamlessly together. So you have one button where you hit, I think, Control R. It'll send your model to Keyshot and render it, and you can continue working in ZBrush while it's actually rendering in Keyshot.
That's cool.
Yeah. They introduced a whole bunch of stuff, but every ZBrush release, I think it's just got a couple hundred features that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Every time, like I use ZBrush so infrequently that when I go to use it, there's always like another version of it that I need to get.
And they've got just all these other features in there.
Yeah.
They have micromesh and array tools now. It's blowing out.
What's micromesh?
You can imagine if you were working on a field of grass.
Yep.
Sculpting or creating a blade of grass.
Sure.
And then a plane to apply it to, and then with a few clicks of the button, you can create a field of grass, right?
Okay.
With that thing, and you can.
As opposed to individually putting each blade of grass.
Oh yeah, but they had solutions to this before. This is just in ZBrush with their.
It's built in as opposed to some sort of third-party thing you need to grab.
Yeah, and I just think ZBrush has a really good understanding of making things intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's simple, and it's just packed with features and tools.
This podcast is sponsored by ZBrush. No.
So, in the ZBrush Mudbox continuous battle, ZBrush is out ahead.
Way ahead.
Yeah.
I would say Mudbox isn't even a thing.
Oh, wow. There was a while, I remember people were liking Mudbox more than ZBrush for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
A few years back.
Yeah, that was... It wouldn't be a few years back, probably 5 years ago or something.
That's a few.
Oh, actually, maybe even 7 or 10 years.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, I do remember a time anyway when that...
Mudbox and ZBrush were sort of neck and neck years ago, but now you couldn't compare the two.
Wow.
It's...
I remember, I think it was a long time ago because I do remember getting back into sculpting stuff and preferring Mudbox because I've just heard
the navigation,
was
right?
better. Yeah,
but
the navigation
that was
a
a huge
better.
sell for people because they didn't get... Because ZBrush is such an amazing new product.
Yeah.
The way they navigate is like completely different, right?
But it's, I mean, Mudbox, I guess, for like casual users, has that advantage of being exactly the same navigation as Maya.
Yep.
But the thing is, if you use ZBrush, you can do so much more. You just have to get used to it, and
there is a little bit of a learning curve before you get into it.
Yeah, but once you do it, it's fine. Like, you use it like all the time,
and it's amazing. You cannot compare those two now.
Yeah. Is Mudbox even around still? Then, like, do people actually?
Yeah, Autodesk brought them out.
Okay.
I occasionally see them do things, but you can't.
Do you know anybody who uses it?
Do I know people who use it?
Yeah.
No, not off the top of my head.
See, that's interesting to me that they exist.
But I can almost guarantee you that 90% of the studios that do modeling or high poly modeling would use ZBrush.
Sure. So it looks like Epic Games is doing some developer grants.
Did you guys catch that?
I didn't, but I've got the headline in front of me.
Damn it!
Tell me more.
It's kind of a strings-free type.
They
will give you.
Whenever I hear strings free, I'm like, there are strings. What are the strings?
It's just one string. It's just really.
It's a rope.
Yeah.
To hang yourself with.
There's an article on Game Researcher.
Okay.
And it's pretty much talking about how Epic Games is looking for interesting games made in Unreal,
Mm-hmm.
and they will give you a certain amount of money, no strings attached, just to help you develop that game.
Okay.
And they do have a screening process where you send a video in of your game or demo with a description, and they will, I guess, internal people at Unreal will check it out and see whether or not they want to give you X amount
So
of
it's
dollars.
I can see.
It's a Dragon's Den.
I guess so, but they're trying to. It was really weird, that article, because they said towards the bottom it was saying competition is a thing of the past, sort of thing.
Oh, okay, weird.
But
It sounds like you are competing against other people, though.
No, but they're obviously competing with Unity, right? And they're doing this as like a thing to convert indie studios from Unity to Unreal.
Which is it's interesting because now I don't know if Unreal has changed their business model, but it used to be you could get Unreal for free, and you could make your game and start selling it, and until you were making, until you made I think it was $50,000, you didn't have to pay Unreal a dime. And then as soon as you hit that $50,000 threshold, 30% of every dollar was going to go to Unreal.
I don't know if they're still doing that, but they've got the
that
subscription
has changed.
thing. Yeah.
I think it's $30 US per month plus 5% of your is it gross of whatever your app
So it's just I would guess that this grant thing is probably a really good way for them to look at how profitable a project could be. Give them a little. It's just sort of like an indirect way of funding of investing in them, right? Because there's a good chance if this project looks awesome that they'll make that money back.
Yeah.
Right.
And I could also see people using Unity catching that article or word of this happening and being like,
we need money.
It's a better engine.
Because Unity is cool, but the main thing it's got going for it is that it's free.
Well, it's also really, really flexible.
Yeah.
Right. Unreal is getting there, but Unity you can publish on a whole bunch of different platforms with a click of a button, and you can do. It's not quite as crazy, easy from a development standpoint as Unreal is in some respects, but it is also a lot easier in some other respects.
It's easy for so I've mucked about with it, and again, it has the same control as Maya for navigation, and you just drag in assets and they show up straight away. It's great. I like that.
On top of that, I don't know if Unreal has.
Oh, I was just trying to point to that, and we could save that for another
next
episode.
one. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll have another teaser question.
What is it? What is
You'll
it?
have to listen to the next episode to find out. But Unity has a store built into their software.
Oh yeah, the asset store.
Yeah, that's
I don't
really
think
great.
Unreal has anything like that, but you can.
They should if they got to be looking at that and saying we're losing out on money here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an indie developer, you don't have very many employees. You might have a little bit of spare cash. You can just buy some assets, buy some middleware. Really speed up development, and you just can't really do that with Unreal.
Yeah, not only that, I'm pretty sure that's what Valve is doing with hats
Yeah,
and soda items.
It is.
And
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, why would you not want to get on that?
God damn it, Valve.
More engines just need hats, basically, is what you're saying. We've got some questions from.
Should I take that?
Yeah, sure. Go
There's
ahead.
a couple questions. All right. This is a question from a friend of mine, Andrew.
Is this Andrew at GGG?
No, this is not Andrew at GGG.
Oh,
this is Andrew, unemployed in Upper Hutt.
Oh man, you
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wonder if he listens to this. Jeez, what are you doing?
He's
Andrew, we hope you get
He
a
can
job
take it.
soon.
Man.
He can take it. Should people get paid from YouTube for Let's Play videos of games? He doesn't think so. For
reviews, he thinks they should, but not for
Let's Plays.
not for Let's Plays.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I took from what
yeah.
he said there.
Yep. Okay.
It's an interesting question. Let's break it down for people who don't understand why they should or shouldn't potentially. And when you're watching a Let's Play, you're watching someone play through usually a popular game, and now they didn't make the game; they're just playing through it. The creator of that game will have made a little bit of money from the sale of the game from the person who's playing through it at that point, and they're not going to make any more money, even though essentially what that person is doing is spoiling the game for all of their viewers. So there's an argument to be made that, like, you know, if a radio station is playing an album, they pay royalties. If a YouTube video is showing a full playthrough of a game, maybe the creator of the game.
Some creators, like I've heard that Nintendo is quite harsh on Let's Play people. Like they shut them down.
They definitely were for a while there. I'm not sure if they're still as harsh.
Well, I mean, there is that side of it, but I think it's also just like free advertising as well for the game.
So yeah, the question is going to be: are the people who are watching that video the people who would buy that game if they didn't have access to that video?
Because I know I can only speak for myself, but when I watch a Let's Play, it's basically just to see what the game is like, so I can decide whether or not I'm going to buy it. Because if I watch a Let's Play, I'm usually on the fence of if I should buy this or not.
Sure.
And I'll watch it and then decide. I don't sit there and watch like 50 hours of someone playing through an entire game.
Mm-hmm. So do you think, for this question ultimately is the person who's doing the Let's Play, should they be making money from that?
I think, well, isn't it how it works? Is how many subscribers that channel gets, then YouTube will give them money, right?
It's usually
or there's advertising or something like that.
It's ad driven.
So I just think that
view.
if their channel is popular enough, then they should be getting money for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if they are not providing anything, if they're providing no critical commentary, they're not really providing any insight. If they're just playing
it, and like PewDiePie, makes crazy reactions and being like, oh, whoa,
so he's
or whatever. If he's entertaining, then I don't see why not. And if people are watching it, then I don't see why not. Yeah.
Fair enough. What do you think, sir?
I don't really have a stance on this.
Doesn't have a stance.
They could make money from YouTube, right? And Nintendo kind of cracked down on it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess studios that don't like it should do something about it.
I'm gonna say they should make some money, but I think that the creators of the game should also make.
Do you think
cut.
Do you think if they make a certain amount of money, then they should give some back to the off whatever video, because they can tell their stats per video.
Sure.
If they're getting a lot of money off people watching the order, then they should have a percentage that goes to
the developer.
Actually, they already do it with music on YouTube.
That's right. They should be. Or I think that it's worth considering a royalty system for media creators. Like a game, ultimately, watching a game isn't that different to watching a TV show. And if you watch a TV show, that money is going to the creators of the TV show, or at least a cut of it. Mm-hmm. It's a good question, Andrew. We hope you get a job soon.
Do you guys actually watch Let's Plays much?
I used to watch Let's Plays of crazy, like hacked ROM games, like Kaizo Mario and stuff.
Who's the rights holders then?
That's a good question. So that raises a whole bunch of other. It's a whole barrel.
Is that actually legal at all?
I have no idea. But they were super entertaining. I don't think watching someone play through a normal game is anywhere near as fun, because I'd rather just play the game.
Yeah.
Or not, If it's not worth playing it, I certainly don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we should probably skip that second question of mine and just get into the.
Sorry, Tony, we're skipping your question. No.
We'll save it for another time.
Yeah, next time. We also posted on the forums a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, I think it was. We got way more questions than I was expecting.
Yeah, we got a bunch of questions, but we're not going to have time.
Several episodes worth.
Yes. Yeah, and feel free to ask us more questions. We have an email address.
Well, we might as well say it at the end of the show.
Say it now too. What is it?
It's prealphaquestions@gmail.com.
Prealphaquestions@gmail.com.
One word.
We also have we also have a Twitter account, which might change name.
Oh, let's not do it then if we're going to change it.
It's going to either. Well, feel free to check, see if we've changed name or not. This will be a game for you. It's either Pre-Alpha 1 or Pre-Alpha Podcast. One of those is our new Twitter account. It could be one of those. It could be neither. Maybe we've been hacked and it's been taken down. So questions from the Grinding Gear off-topic forums. Question from user Rycast, RYKAS. What is a typical day like? Day-to-day breakdown. What do you do every day?
Do you
Blake.
want to kick it off?
Hang on Facebook.
Don't
You
say
heard it
that.
here first, folks. No
okay.
work.
Okay, day-to-day breakdown. I have a cup of coffee in the morning. I go to the cafe up the road,
Which one?
French cafe.
So for anybody who doesn't know, our office is located in a sort of green part of Auckland, and it's kind of a wealthy area. And
Is it?
It is. It is. And,
Yeah,
and
it
there's
is.
you can tell it's wealthy because the ratio of cafes to everything else
Yeah.
Yep.
is crazy high. There's like 4, 5, 6 in this little
there's
tiny
a lot.
village.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
the amount of dentist offices.
How many are there?
I think there are 2
Well,
right on that little
really?
strip there. But it's not a very big village.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
And there's also like 3 hairdressers.
Yeah, there's a hairdresser right next to us.
Yeah, it's actually really convenient. Having a hairdresser there. I've been there
Okay.
once though.
Not for me.
Do you not get your haircut?
Kind of bald.
No. Oh, that's even better. That's super convenient.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, I'm gonna go bald. That sounds good.
You should join the club. It's a typical day. Yeah, I go up and get my coffee, walk down. We have a list of issues that we're going through.
So when you say issues,
Tasks.
it's like tasks.
Yeah. So
Task
I
managers, I think.
check that out first to see if there's anything new that's
Sure.
been put on there, and then I just spend my day working on the most important one, which at the moment is anything with that
Garden
core.
tiles.
Garden tiles. No, thankfully.
Okay. For those that don't know, the garden
Not
tile
many. That's a
set-
super inside joke.
Yeah. For everybody.
Anyone that doesn't work at anyone that didn't work at Grinding Gear games like 2 years ago is not gonna get that joke.
The garden tile set, which in the games is the Imperial Gardens, and I think the Hedge Maze. This is in Path of Exile, where we all work.
Yeah.
It just took a super long time.
Yeah,
It's very
it
intricate.
did spend. I did spend a long time doing it, and the weird thing is like, because I'm just draping. I was just draping like vines and leaves over everything,
Mhm.
and the thing is, they all kind of look the same because it's all just like foliage,
Mhm.
but they're not all the same, and it takes a while to do that.
A lot of love and
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
So next
And it was a
time-
bummer that I've like checked out the forums and people have said
It's their least
that's
favorite
their
area.
least
Oh,
favorite
no.
area. I'm like, oh,
So
man.
next time you're mindlessly rushing through Imperial Gardens, stop, take a deep breath, look
Yeah,
around you.
Appreciate the
Yeah.
vines on that statue.
Because Blake made those vines. He made them for you because he loves you.
What about you, Nick? What's your day to day like?
Well,
Work day.
I get in a bit later than I think you guys probably do. You guys get
I'm in before 9.
Yeah.
I'm in pretty early.
That's-
Yeah, you're in. I don't even know when you come in. That's how
When do
early
you come in?
A little after 7.
Ugh.
Jeez.
Ugh. I get in like 9:30 to between 9:30 and 10.
What are you doing?
I'm not an early morning person. I'm not even a late morning person. I'm still usually blind tired by the time I get in the office. First things first, make a giant mug of tea. Irish breakfast is the way to go. Make it as dark as possible.
Okay.
A little bit of milk, no sugar. I drink that bad boy, and then I
Drink the entire thing and then get to work.
Yes, I sit there
Down it.
intimately staring at my tea. No, I usually first things I'll usually do is I'll check out our forums and our Reddit and make sure that there's no like urgent bugs or issues. And then I'll start going through our supporter emails and seeing. One of my tasks is making unique items for supporters who've bought them, and so I'll reply to all of the people who have cropped up on there, and then usually I tend to do whatever is needed at that particular time. I don't, unlike Blake who will spend months working on a specific feature. I spend, I'll work on a whole bunch of different things in a given day, and often I won't finish any of them, or because they'll need to be tested and then sent back, and people need to look over it. but then towards the end of a couple weeks or whatever, I'll suddenly get to sign off on a whole bunch of them and be like, these are all done. Check them.
It's a good feeling to
click the resolved
button. On a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Because working on tile sets, one task will be like months. You know.
Yeah,
and there are other people who are like, I just finished like 5 tasks today.
Yeah.
I haven't done one.
One unique item will be like 3 tasks, and I'll pop through them real fast.
Yeah.
So like, yep, done. Yeah, that's basically it. Every day is a little bit different. I don't have that many daily rituals other than checking the forums and drinking a giant mug of tea.
Mine isn't too exciting either. I just get up I'd say about 6:30.
I would
drive to work, make a coffee, sit down in front of my computer for 8-9 hours.
What do you do on your computer? What's the first thing you do?
I'm checking the issue tracker as well.
Okay.
Seeing if there are issues assigned to other people, and get onto, things that are urgent that are assigned to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of float around the office.
Float around.
well, if I'm needed somewhere else, which it doesn't happen that often.
What coffee are you having at the moment?
But you're quite the coffee aficionado, aren't you?
I think it's called Gravity.
Oh, really?
That purple bag.
Yeah, that's a good.
But I just went for the cheapest.
Yeah, that's a supermarket brand. That's actually pretty good. That's my favorite supermarket brand.
Okay.
My favorite poor man's coffee.
What's your absolute favorite coffee?
I actually really like the one we're on now, which is one called C4 from I think it's from Christchurch.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
It's really nice. The taste.
See, I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about at all. It's like.
I don't get into any of that.
Do you have are there certain notes?
No, I don't get into any of that. Pretentious, very very woody aroma here and a hint of nutmeg, and I don't do any of that.
Rope.
I think we've got time for one more question.
We might actually have time for. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many. So, good question, right? I guess we got another question from DLRR, all lowercase. I'm going to say your name is pronounced Doller. So Doller says, what's your favorite thing that came from the community that got added into the game? For example, supporter uniques, ideas from the forums, certain passive node. What do you think?
I don't have anything on the top of my head.
Okay.
If I was to say anything, I think that drop there was kind of cool. But it's the only noteworthy.
That was mine.
Oh no.
I actually checked because I think we had another artist outside of the studio work on it.
Oh, okay.
And so I was the guy who actually checked the model to check its integrity to see if we could use it in game. It was kind of cool seeing it go back and forth. And yeah, I think it came out really well.
Now,
after animation and everything.
Yeah.
When you're checking a model to see if it can go in the game, what are you looking for?
Polygon distribution, UV maps.
When you say polygon distribution?
I've shortened that to resolution. It's almost, if you were to compare how large a polygon is on one model compared to, say, the environment, we have roughly a large resolution on these characters because they're so small, right? Which is roughly, I think it averages around 3,000 triangles per character.
Yeah.
For your average bipedal character.
Yep.
And so the drop there was a little smaller, so you can kind of ballpark a number.
Okay. So it's just the sort of actual number of polygons.
Well, it's half the size of the character.
Sure.
This should be roughly 1,500 tries, right?
Right.
You would see it before it's into animation, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be checking for polygons in the right,
Yep. Definitely topology is a very important thing. And UVs is one thing that
UVs?
The texture map, which is applied to the character.
Sure.
It's
very important.
how would you describe it? It's like a 2D fold out
Yeah, I would say
thing.
the 3D models are for, I think, pretty much every video game, apart from John Carmack's Mega Textures. They're all.
Wait, don't they use the same? I thought they used the same. They were just like bigger size.
It was what was it? Polygon per image. It wasn't.
I actually. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking
his
on
talks
Mega
go
Textures
so
right
far
now.
over my head that it's just like noise.
But basically, every 3D model unwraps onto a 2D texture because I guess that's the easiest way
Yeah,
to
sure.
then apply
Yeah.
color onto the model.
Yeah, I imagine it's like. I mean, I guess for people who are having a hard time imagining that, it's like you take a cube and you fold it out, like you might done, and you end up with the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
And
you're
it's
looking at
exactly
shells.
like
Every 3D model is a shell of
Yeah.
something. You have to unwrap that shell to then apply color to that model.
Just I worked in a game where someone had to manually unwrap that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think everyone. At the
Yeah, I
company
mean,
does.
it depends on what
You
you
have
do manually.
tools in the software.
Yeah.
So like, you're not actually on a computer.
Yeah,
typing
you're
out
not
numbers and
dragging
everything.
each like vertex
Right, sure.
into its thing.
But you
There
are making
like,
sure that it's unwrapping properly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're not getting it all.
There's
wonky.
there's been like, I don't know, in the recent last like 10 years or something, there's been tools that have come in. Like, do you remember the
Mari's a big deal.
Yeah.
Which assigns every polygon has a certain resolution square texture that it connects to.
Okay.
Did you check that out? Mari is what Witter is using.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of crazy. We don't have
Yeah.
anything like
No,
that,
no.
so we're kind of just using standard texture maps and kind of your bare bones.
Yeah.
2D.
But that, I mean, we do that. That normal computers can run the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Weta, which is like a special effects
Production house.
Yeah, they don't worry about that.
No. What about you? What's your favorite community
Ooh,
item?
that is a tricky one. So because I work on a lot of items that players have bought, I see a lot of things. I think maybe my favorite is it might be Moku's Embrace, which is a ring, which one of our 2D artists, George, did a wonderful job of illustrating. It's like a sort of a dark looking, slightly tinged red loop, and then at the top is a sort of brighter red rose, sort of blooming.
Okay.
And the ring itself was one of our first, if not our first, item that benefits the player for having a negative attribute on them. So whenever they're ignited, they get some boosts to their attack speed and cast speed.
Were you behind that?
I think it was basically a joint operation between myself and the supporter. But I think it turned out the supporter was very flexible and I think his initial idea was pretty good. And what we landed on, I think, was good. And it's opened up a lot of room for new builds, and it also just is very flavorful. Like it's a cool looking item. It's cool from a flavor perspective. Like it just you look at that and you go, I totally understand what that's for, and I understand how I could use it, and I just like the way it looks.
Fair enough. Yeah,
So it's one of my favorites.
Does that happen quite often? Do you ever? Because you're dealing with these guys quite a bit. Yeah. But do you have?
I think it happens less often than I would like. A lot of, and part of it is that our game. I mean, game development is intrinsically not that flexible, right? Once an engine is made, if you want crazy changes or like a crazy new gameplay mode, you have to often make changes to an engine, and that can take like a super long time because building an engine is not an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so a supporter will often request things that we just can't do, and there's often like weeks and weeks and weeks of back and forth trying to. I mean, I have to shoot down a lot of ideas because they just literally won't work in our game.
Can you say any of those ideas?
Yeah, there was some recently, like skills, like brand new skills that trigger when you kill an enemy or something. For that to happen, we'd have to make a new skill, then give that skill to the player as a skill that's attached to the item, but then also disable them from being able to use it. So it would show up on their little skill bar as grayed out, which is really confusing.
Yeah.
And then have a separate trigger that's attached to the item that is also hidden. And then when they kill an item, or when they kill the enemy, the item triggers the skill. So there's like a whole bunch of different steps in there it's just really hard to do and takes like a really long time to get the balance right, and B, would be confusing to the player under our current engine, and overall I think would have like a negative impact. So I think we don't really have time for any more questions. However, we've got a couple left, and we'll do these next week, I think.
Yeah, man.
Well, actually, are we around next week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. Blake's got a thing he has to do somewhere.
Yeah, Blake.
I got a thing, man.
Blake's an international man of mystery.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for tuning in to Pre-Alpha. This was the first episode. Today, by the way, I was meant to say the date. What's today's date?
22nd February?
22nd of February. It's a Sunday.
If you have any questions,
feel free to email us your questions and queries to pre-alpha questions at gmail.com, or tweet at us at pre-alpha1 or at pre-alpha podcast. Find out which one. And please give us all your feedback. We'd love to hear what you think. And thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See ya.
great. Cheers.
That was first episode of Front Seat Gamer.
Man, that was pretty good.
Yeah, great episode.
Oh, amazing.
And it definitely wasn't an episode of Pre-Alpha. So, if you want to contact us at Front Seat Cast, or email us at frontseatquestions@gmail.com.
Yeah, you got it.
So catchy.
Yeah, so
It rolls
easy.
off your tongue too.
Just easy to remember.
Hard to forget.
Yeah. Thanks